No, she said she took her back to the hospital or something. Doctor's appointment, maybe.
Jason?
Someone until you call Tony.
Well, yeah, I didn't bring my 3. Oh, we've got an o'clock in here, don't need time. That's why we don't want you looking at the clock all the time.
Yeah.
You have to give us a couple hours, and that's good.
Summertime comes, they take all the clocks and get rid of them.
It depends on what time I show up for work, but they probably still got the bells in this place.
They do.
Clock,
We might be on the clock.
Yeah. And I was gonna hurry. We got to write that word because I have input for the minutes. I just thought that. I'm like,
We
oh, crap.
can get down there until we do business pretty quick.
Yeah.
And after new business, yeah, I see that. I've been putting that on, I've been meaning to get online and look at that, see what that was, and then I didn't do that either, but that's
Well,
what.
we're going to discuss that tonight. We got time.
Hey, on the railroad field, refresh my memory, on the insurance down there, we did decide to go ahead and pay the insurance down there and do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I just remember talking about it.
Yeah.
When we did. Oh, Jim Collins down there, he asked, well, Brett, do you know what they doing down there with, railroad field? They do what they're about, well, the insurance, like, I remember talking about that, I said, I don't know if they were good, there's not a lot down there to insure anymore.
You're talking about Roarbot.
Roebuck,
Roebuck. And I was like,
I call it
You
Roebuck.
thought-
I call it Roebuck, like Robocop.
Yeah.
Roebuck.
Yeah, okay.
It's abbreviation.
I got you, man. We're on the same page.
Roar. Why would you even name something so?
What's after something?
Yeah, that guy's that's what his name, Rollerball or whatever.
Yeah, but anyway.
It's like me saying rural. I mean, I can't.
Rural, yeah.
My accent.
Yeah, he goes on like making me think like we didn't pay it or whatever, and I'm like, I don't know, I'll have to check. He's like, well, they paid it, and I was like, well, then what are we talking about? What is this whole conversation about? You guys have a good vacation?
Yeah. The beach isn't my favorite place to go.
Got nothing to do though.
We made it.
Yeah.
I'm more at the shopping mall. I don't want to have that sand anywhere near me.
Gotta get you a break.
Well, that's what I was thinking. Alright. At 5 p.m. we'll call this meeting to order. We'll start with the pledge of allegiance. Everybody can stand. Dustin, do you want to do the pledge for us?
I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Everybody be seated. We have no delegations. We have no reports. Anybody need to update anything? We'll move to the consent agenda and start with the minutes. We have the minutes from June 26th regular meeting and June 29th special meeting.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the minutes for the above stated minutes and meetings.
Second.
All right, been properly moved and seconded to approve the minutes from the June 26th regular meeting and the June 29th special meeting. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And I abstain. Motion carries. All right, we'll move on to the treasurer's report. We have this Yeah, do you have anything for our planning?
What's in there, the treasurer report's in your packet.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the checks to be written.
Okay,
Second.
it's been probably moved and seconded to approve the schedule of checks to be written. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Any abstention? Motion carries. All right, we're gonna move on to item C, open enrollment. Dr. Matt, you have anything with that?
We just signed a few open enrollment, requests. They were standard requests of about, attendance and things like that. I don't know, it was probably 4 or 5 of them, I believe, that was signed, so I recommend that you approve those open enrollment requests.
What exactly?
It would be people coming in to attend our.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I make a motion to approve the open enrollment.
Second.
There's been moved and seconded to approve the open enrollment section under the consent agenda. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Any all opposed? Any abstention? Motion carries. Alrighty, we'll move into new business schedule, meeting with LSIC.
This is just a process that I'd like to work on for district improvement, working with the West Virginia Department of Education, Matt Hicks. We worked with him last year with the accountability system, but bringing those same folks back and working with the administrator, setting up the local school improvement councils at the beginning of this year, giving them plenty of time to work through their processes. And then instead of having those meetings earlier on, I asked that you have those later on in the year where we have more data and more things to report to the board. So that would be something that I would like to have the board support on, is bringing those folks in, retraining and retooling our folks on building local school improvement councils. And then scheduling those meetings a little further out. I think we were at the high school in maybe December, January, so it was really early. And scheduling those meetings a little further out so they can get further in the work before they report.
Anybody have any questions?
No.
I'll make a motion that we approve the partnership with WBE on to provide training as stated by Dr. Minnie.
I will second.
Alright, it's been properly moved and seconded. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Any abstention? Motion carries. Alright, we'll move on to County Board of Education, self-appraisal and due date.
This is, just a little blurb, annually each year, county boards of education shall assess its performance using an instrument approved by the West Virginia State Board of Education. And this also has to be reflective of the performance of the school and county regarding the following. Dealing with constituency groups, providing proper framework of government strategies, enhancing the effective utilization of policy, approach to government, and so forth. These data results also have to be shared publicly at a board meeting. So I have copied that survey, listed it in this QR code for you guys to be able to just, with your phone, jump on there and complete the survey. And I'm hoping that you guys will take my recommendation, which is to have that completed by July 18th, so I can put that on to July 24th. I have to have that sent to the state by August 15th.
Okay. I'd like to make a motion that our board complete the Gilmer County Schools self-appraisal survey by July 18th, for the superintendent to have data report to the public on July 24th, the Board of Education meeting, and submit findings to the WVDE by August 10th.
Second. Okay. It's been properly moved and seconded. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Any abstention? Motion carries. Right. Moving to number C, the Justice Assistance Grant.
Justice Assistance Grant was one of those things that the board had asked me to look into when I first got hired. It is what I call, and I hate to say it, but what we call the pro officer grant. This would be a cost share between multiple partners and hopefully the Gilmer County Board of Education.
The grant award is $15,000, and the other stakeholders would do a cost share for Gilmer County Schools. I would like to look into working with the county commission, the local city police, the mayor's office, anybody that would be willing to partner with that to do a cost share to put a pro officer in our schools that would serve all of Gilmer County schools. This person would be stationed at the high school if we get the grant. And they would also be teaching classes in K through 12. So one requirement of this grant is that they actually go out and teach courses and build relationships in the community with the students and so on and so forth. So I would like to be able to start soliciting partnerships through the Gilmer County Schools and developing a financial proposal for our partners to put together for you guys to vote on. I don't know exactly what that would cost, because we might get one partner, we might get two partners, we might get $15,000 worth of assistance. But we're looking to get a pro officer in Gilmer County Schools.
So those lists, we're talking about a uniformed officer in our school.
Uniformed officer in our school.
What type of classes would they be?
They have a curriculum that they teach. Some of it's,
Like a drug education?
drug education, preventative stuff like that. They have a lot of different things like that. They also provide, this is kind of a counseling service too as well. They also provide counseling services to students. It's not like a psychologist or, but it's a friendly adult that can provide, hey, you should do this. You should get involved with an extracurricular activity. They provide those life lessons. So it would just be another supporting adult, and we would also have somebody armed for safety measures in our school if we never have an armed intruder or so forth. That would be available for us.
I'll move to allow the superintendent to pursue a cost share grant with said stakeholders and put together a financial proposal for the BOE to vote on and to secure a PRO officer for Gilmer County Schools.
I'll second that.
It's been properly moved and seconded. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Any abstention? Motion carries. All right, we'll move into old business, and we don't have any. We'll move to the personnel agenda. Dr. Manning.
The second part, Director of Student Support Services, we're not ready to move forward on that, so the one recommendation I have today is Crystal Smith, Special Education Teacher, Gilmer County Elementary School, under professional recommendations.
I'll make a motion to approve the professional part of the agenda. Second.
All right, it's been properly moved and seconded to approve the professional section of the personnel agenda. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Any abstention? Motion carries.
Don't have any service extracurricular section here, only two. First is Austin Ratliff, head coach, Mini Titan boys basketball coach. I want to make that recommendation for you guys to vote to hire him. And then also, I'm asking permission to post auxiliary varsity girls basketball coach.
I recommend to approve the extracurricular part of the personnel agenda, as recommended by Dr. Benning.
Second.
Second.
It's been properly moved and seconded to approve the extracurricular portion of the personnel agenda. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Any abstention? Motion carries. Right. We will move into continuous improvement. Dr. Benning.
One thing I wanted to share with you, I'm going to print these off for all the board members, is we have our annual local education agency determination matrix for IDEA Part B and Part A and Part B. I think this is Part B, excuse me. This is our special ed performance desk audit. Some of these things run a few years in back. You'll see that we've got indicators here. Indicator 4B, which is 21 and 22 school year. What you're looking at there on the front page is actually results. If you go clear to the back page, you'll see that the Gilmer County Schools was determined, the LEA determination for 2023 is that they met requirement for the IDEA Part B compliance. So we passed our annual desk audit for special education. And we have some areas of concern that we're gonna be working with, but for this year, we met the requirement. We were required to get, I believe, 80%, and we got 80.77% there. So we did meet requirement with all of our LEA determination.
And that's based off last year's school year.
Most of it is, yeah, there is some, if you look at that, second page, there's a blue page and a red page. The colors don't mean anything other than one's blue and one's red, but you'll see that most all those are 21, 22, 22, 23. It tells what indicator. So if you look at indicator 11, you'll see that we didn't earn points for that one, and that was 21, 22. So, that is probably still, one of those areas that we need to be working on this year. If you look over that first page, a lot of that is, indicator 3, 3B, 3C, 3D. Those are all assessment for grades 4, 8, 11, so on and so forth. You'll notice those are 2 years back, 21, 22. So, if you look at indicator 4A, that's 21, 22. Some of that data is was a point earned this year that may not be next because of some of the expulsions and different things like that. So this is data that we're going to keep a close eye on, make sure we've got some growth that we need to have happen under this because we're 0.77 above what we did, but we did meet requirements, but we want to make sure, and a lot of this stuff is a couple years in the rear, if that makes sense.
All right, thank you, sir. And we continue on into superintendent's update.
Just a quick update to you all. I had my new superintendent training with the West Virginia School Board Association, and Cody went with me today. We have most of the things in place that we found we were in pretty good shape as far as compliance and open meetings and the way we flow through. It seems like we are really doing well as far as that. We sat through a lot of different questions, and we feel like we were pretty confident in what we've got established so far. We did post the 8 positions. We've had many applicants. We'll try to get those on for the next agenda to try to wrap up what we did during the transfer season. Animal processing classroom, we went to a meeting there last week. It is coming along very, very quickly. They've got a lot of the framework built. They've got the ceiling in, they've got the track systems up. It's just amazing how much progress they made in 2 weeks. I mean, they went in and laid all those concrete blocks. They got the coat room done. They've got all of the different rooms kind of separated out. So, there's things that they're working on, but it seemed like to me, I asked them this, can I report that we're back on schedule? And they said, yes, I can report that we're back on schedule with the animal processing. So we're back on schedule. It looks very good so far, and we're hoping that the project stays on schedule because we want the students to be able to utilize it for this year's new process. Bowls Right Signature Series, though you'll see some of those coming up. I'm going to be out this week. Those are starting to pick back up, and I will be out this week attending. It's a personnel training, and of course, Cody heard about that today. And that's a very good training that Bowls and Rice puts out on just new and upcoming legislation and how to handle it, and so on and so forth. The boardroom, another quick update. The boardroom, you can see we've got Mr. Parsons from the our County Gilmer Career Center delivered the boardroom board table. It's got the carpet underneath. It's up on a little bit of a ledge. We're waiting on the top. It's on back order. There was one little addition that we decided, which was to run a Cat 5 cable to the president's seat, so we could do things like teleconference from there in case somebody would need to call in during a board meeting, or if we had a hearing that we wanted to call a witness, we could call. So we are going to run that, but other than that, we're working on kind of taking down some of the different pieces in the room and putting up, maybe even looking at a new logo with our new mission and vision statement, empower, inspire, engage. And hopefully we will have that in the next week or so, so we can be back in there. It looks, I don't know if you guys have seen it, but it looks good so far. Superintendent yearly calendar, I'm putting out a yearly calendar with almost all of these meetings that we've attended. And you guys have attended the SAT meetings and the attendance meetings and all of these things. I have built a calendar for all of next year. And Lisa has worked diligently in putting stuff out there, and we're gonna continue to work. The year has been scheduled. I mean, we have almost every meeting from here to the end of next year. You heard today that some of those statutory meetings, like the lay of the levy and things, those haven't come out to me yet, so I kind of have guessed when I think that it's gonna happen. So it might be a little tentative on some things, but we've got pretty much the year laid out there in a calendar. When the meetings are gonna happen, you know, who's gonna be a stakeholder at those meetings, and that leads me into Project Connect. That's one of the projects that we had. We've been meeting, we've been working on a new logo. We've been working on developing a relationship with the newspaper. We've been working on focusing on getting our stuff out on social media. We've been developing press releases. I'm sure you guys have seen all the stuff that's coming out on social media, and we're going to continue to do that. Our plan is to have a new logo, at least some offerings for you guys to vote on. We're trying to go simple, so when you look behind the space that we've created, you can see from the camera view what the writing says on the wall. We want to say Gilmer County Schools and have our mission on there. It's a way to promote our mission statement, and that's another thing we've been working on, is how to promote our mission statement. One thing that I would like to do, and this is something that I've talked with the principals about, and there's going to be an expectation that we have some board members that participate in the handbook creation, and maybe this would be something we put on the agenda.
This was a problem last year.
So,
We didn't have any time to review. It was kind of just put in our lap. We didn't talk about it. It was like, here, approve the handbooks.
So what I plan to do is actually add that to an agenda. We're hoping to have some folks that can volunteer, maybe just one member that can work with the leadership teams, have some input on the handbooks, and then try to get those approved by August 14th. It's okay not to do it by August 14th. I'd like to have it
For printing,
but I would rather it be done right and start in a little.
Is there any way that we could get, somebody from of course, the principals? And, the problem's not at the grade school, it's the high school typically when you start talking about handbook.
It's more complex, yeah.
Yes, and that's just where your problems are. You gotta address kind of this and that time. But if we could get, maybe somebody from like the student government, student government, whoever, last president, vice president, somebody that's gonna be stepping up in that role, and the teachers.
Absolutely. I'll put that on the agenda for the next board meeting, and we'll have a discussion on how we want to set that up and when things are due and when you guys get them and how many weeks you get to review them and things like that.
But just like, just comments, like if a teacher has a comment or something like that, I'd like to know, here's a comment, because they're the ones that have to,
Right.
enforce it
They're on the
all
front
year
line,
long.
absolutely.
Yeah, they're the ones that have to enforce it all year long, so it's just.
So that was one of the things, I'm just giving you an update, I'm starting to work on, and that might be something that takes a little longer to get before the beginning of school, but I'd rather have it done right this time through than not. So, the elementary, they are working on a positive behavior and intervention support program, so they're going to have some heavy lifting to do on their end as well. And so they're going to be making some changes as well, I know that. So what I plan to do is get some of you, what I'm going to recommend is for the principals to include a couple board members and their leadership teams and have student input, get multiple stakeholders and try to get those things kicked out. That's all I got.
All right, then we will move into board member comments.
That was the only comment I had. When
Okay.
I read this earlier this week, I was like, man, somebody's got,
Yeah.
just to get more, I think that our principals are typically, they're the ones, that's their input. So, that you sign off and then we eventually vote. But, to get a little input from kids, I think, just, to see what, to try to hash out some of those problems before they arise. So we don't have as many conflicts and issues.
Doesn't do anything? All right, I'll just be quick. I agree with Fred on the handbook. I think, yeah, I mean, you can get, one for the elementary school, one for the high school, and work with those committees. Will be great. Again, like Dr. Minnie said, I attended the, new superintendent and board president training today. It was helpful, we did, like he said, we seem to be, on track and everything going good with that. And then lastly, I just put to thank the Project Connect folks, I mean, you can see the work that you all are putting out. Everybody seems to be responsive to that, and, just to thank you, for what you're doing.
The
Right.
conference, the conference.
Oh, and you know what, Lisa, Lisa did give me, I actually got two more things. And I forgot.
What would we do without you?
Well, we'll let you start out.
Number one, there is West Virginia School Board Association Conference. This is the fall conference, September 8th and 9th. Town Center Marriott Hotel. We went there last year together as a group, and this is a sign up if you'll attend in person. I think it's a good conference, and it's good to go there as a team.
I enjoyed it.
The second one is, tomorrow's the day that the Save the Children folks are coming from Italy.
Yeah.
And you guys are welcome to come. They'll be there. They've got a spaghetti dinner that they're cooking. They're going to be there at 11:30 for that. They'll be doing summer boost. They will engage students in the gym first, and then they're going to be doing GURP, a read aloud. They're going to be doing a lunch. After lunch, they're going to be doing team building. At 2 p.m., a family fun event. And then they'll depart at 4:30. So you guys are more than welcome to come and take part in that. And this is a sign-up sheet. If you want to sign up for that, we're going to go ahead and pass that around. That's the part I forgot.
And you just reminded me one more thing. Again, well, mentioning the summer boost, I did stop out at the last time the Save the Children folks were here. Mrs. West, what she does with that program in the summer, during summer school, I think those kids really enjoy it and get something out of it. And, just again, a kudos to her for the work that she does with that. All right, is there any further business? Anybody, board member comment? Hearing none, I'm going to need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Okay, is there a second? Then probably moving second when we adjourn. All in favor, say aye. Yep.